Your floor will arrive wrapped on a truck ready for you to unload and take inside. If your floor is not being delivered by crane truck, we recommend you've arranged a forklift or similar system for offloading. Once your floor is inside, have a look at the supplied plan. This will help you work out where to start. To reduce unnecessary double handling, place your floor materials and tools as far from your starting point as possible. In your pack, you'll receive floor panels, wave panels, the ramp and infill panels, short and long tongues, instruction manual, screws and yellow clips, and finally the builder's plastic. The basic tools you'll need for the job are a circular saw or track saw, measuring tape and duct tape, hammer, knife, pencil, set square, packers, screwdriver or impact driver. Start by laying out the builder's plastic. Roll it out, cut it and unfold it for each length across the room. We recommend an overlap of approximately 150mm on the join. Tape any connecting edges of the plastic with duct tape. The plastic should cover the whole floor and run up the wall to be trimmed later. Check the plan to see where to start. The floor is always laid from left to right. Lay the wave panel down along the edges and cut them to the required size to fit the room. Make sure you add 5mm packers to allow for the floor's expansion. Then put the infill on top of the wave, making sure it's also set 5mm away from the wall. To prepare the flooring sheets, insert the short strips and yellow clips into the sides, lightly tapping them with a hammer or mallet. Please note, only do this on one side of each sheet. Mark on the infill and the flooring sheets each point where the wave sticks out so it can be screwed in. Now put in the first full sheet up against the infill and on top of the wave. Insert a long strip on the end of the sheet. Insert the next full sheet and gently tap it in with your feet. Wearing grippy shoes will help with this. Continue this for all full sheets in the row. You'll have to measure and cut a sheet to fit on the end of the row. To do this, allow the end sheet to finish around 50mm from the wall. Once the whole floor is laid, you can trim them back to fit the infill panel. You may need to remove some of the pieces of cushion at the edges so the sheet will fit in with the wave. Then, position it in place, tapping it in to remove any gaps. Cut one of the black strips in half with a knife to fit into the end of the first sheet of the floor. You should also insert the remaining black strips where the sheets join. Then, start the next row on the left-hand side with a half sheet. This is critical because the clips are facing on an angle. Carefully slot in the yellow clips and then the black strips, making sure they sit within their housings. Put in another long black strip and then a whole sheet can be slotted in. Ensure the sheets fit together with no gaps. Complete each row the same way, starting the third row with a full sheet and the fourth with a half sheet and so on. When you think the sheets are lined up and all gaps have been removed, you can start screwing in the infill and the floor to the wave panel. We recommend screwing in the floor to every second tip of wave that sticks out. Try finishing the screws just below the level of the floor to provide the smoothest finish. Many people prefer not to fill the screw heads as this makes it easier to remove later. Now trim all the end panels using a track saw or saw guide. Trim the panels, allowing for the width of the infill strip and an additional 5mm. Once all the floor is joined together and screwed down, it's time to cut the ramp pieces. Mark and cut the wave to the size of the doorway. Using an offcut of ramp, measure and mark the wave so the ramp can slot in. Cut the tips off the wave. Mark the ramp and cut it to size. Screw in the small wave piece to the infill. Then place the ramp into the gap. Push it flush up to the infill and screw it into the small piece of wave. Fit ramp for any doorway to the dance floor. Make sure to tell us about your openings when ordering your floor so we can supply you with the correct amount. To finish the floor, it can be sanded and coated with a suitable floor finish or a Tarkett vinyl can be laid over it. Your installation is now complete. We hope you enjoy your new Sprung Floor by Showworks. Remember, every installation is different. Call us anytime to discuss your individual needs.